What car do you buy when you've just sort of passed your driving test? Corsa. What car do you buy when you want to put a big turbo engine in it? Corsa. What car did it actually follow from? Nova. This is actually the full story from me telling you all to do with, yes, the Vauxhall Corsa. So while you think I might have turned a little bit mad because of everything we actually have on the forecourt, from Porsches to everything out there, I'm going to go and show you something. Right, now that we're outside, we're going to go straight on the forecourt now. Sold car, Corsa. Oh look, another red one, Vauxhall Corsa. Corsa, another Vauxhall Corsa, and another Vauxhall Corsa, and another one. So basically, whether you've been driving years and you just fancy something smaller, you buy a Vauxhall Corsa because they're cheap and they're easy to run and they're easy to fix. If you've just passed your test and you want something cheap to insure, that's easy to fix and cheap on parts, you buy your Corsa. But there's just one other thing that seems to bother me a little bit. Yes, there's the Ford Fiesta, and yes, they've been around for a long time as well, and yes, they kind of meet all the same requirements, but where did the Vauxhall Corsa come from, and what car came before it? So anyway, what we'll do is we'll head back to 1983. Basically, Ford have been having it far too easy because they sound something called the Ford Fiesta, which was basically comfortable, had nice seats, it was cheap, it was affordable, and basically everyone was loving it. And Vauxhall was sat in the corner basically like, here, we don't like that. We're going to release our own little hatchback. And in 1983 they introduced this small boxy car that was easy to fix. It had good design lines, it came in 5-door, came in 3-door, came with a base trim, came with a GTE trim. The Vauxhall Nova was finally born. But also what we've got to think about is Ford don't just have the base model Fiestas, they have a little trick up their sleeve, which is basically called the Fiesta XR2. It was lower, it had sports bumpers, it had Recaro interior, it had a 3-spoke steering wheel, it had pepper pot alloy wheels, it had front fog lights, it had heated rear windows, it basically had this red sticker along the back window that you could get as an optional extra from Ford Motorcraft that said XR2 in some ultimate 80s letters. It was the pinnacle of the time, and it was really good fun to drive. But time was getting on, basically. Ford started to change the Fiesta became bigger, became more practical, it got better engines, it became more round. It started to go to the Mark III and the Mark IV shapes, which were pretty much one of the best designs at their time. They'd launched massive amount of money into research and getting the best out of their little engines. And the Vauxhall Nova was kind of getting a little bit dated. It was still square, it was still boxy, but everyone still loved them. But for marketing reasons, they needed something else. So they kind of just let the Nova name go, basically. Just dropped it off and just forgot about it. But, they introduced something in the wake of the Vauxhall Nova, and you guessed it. Vauxhall Corsa! And it was really cool. It was 1993 and the popular Vauxhall Corsa already following the Vauxhall Nova. Basically started out as a 3- and 5-door car, came with 1-litre engines, 1.2 engines, 1.4 16-valve engines, and they also had something called the GSI version, which is pretty good little car, to be honest. 1600cc, 16-valve, over 100 brake horsepower, and a pretty good chassis and all that as well. And given the marketing it had and the fan base it already had as well from the Vauxhall Nova, the tuning scene and the street scene eagerly awaited the release of this car, and he didn't hold back when it came out either. So basically the Vauxhall Corsa is forever going to be a staple within the car world, and whether people like it or not. People can mock them, people can love them, people collect them, people still build them, but we can't get away from the fact that it's one of the little hatchbacks that stood the test of time, that's covered all bases from being the family runaround to being the performance choice of car for the beginner or the enthusiast as well. It was even a Need for Speed Underground 2. Like, how popular do you want to be when you make it a Need for Speed games, especially Underground 2 with Snoop Dogg, riders on the storm plane? You've definitely made it in life. This is everything you need to basically know, coming from me, Craig at Auto Park UK, about the Vauxhall Corsa, and we do have a few for sale on site, especially the white limited edition one that I'm going to include in some shots on this video as well. Been absolutely great. It's Sunday, I've been trying to do this before the phones start ringing. There's been a customer outside who probably thinks I've just been sat here talking to myself, and it probably looks like that from outside anyway, but I just had to stress how cool the Corsa is when you really look at it. Thank you.